I read it and I immediately knew I wanted to do this play. It is funny, it is intelligent, it is filled with heart.
I got an email saying, you've been offered this play, and it happens very soon. And I thought, oh, I can't do a play. And I also had just had my shoulder replaced. And I thought, And so I was halfway through the play reading it, and I called them up and said, I'll do it.
I was curious, but I was hesitant. And I was like, ooh, that's a lot. I read the synopsis. I was like, how are they going to approach this, right? So it was the curiosity that kind of took over. But you see the name Diane Paulus, and you're like, ooh, that's a yes. You see the name Holland Taylor, and you're like, sign me up.
My family came from Chile when I was a kid, and then when I was in high school, I volunteered in a congressional campaign. The woman who I volunteered for was elected to Congress, and so I spent many years as a young congressional aide at the feet of this incredible congresswoman. Her name was Connie Morella, and so I saw this world up close myself. I worked there when some of the real-life characters who inspired this play were there.
Again, it's a space not built for us, so I love that. And that's what kept me going, is I was like, okay, I was reading this script and I was like, oh, this is really refreshing. And
well, it was just sparklingly brilliant. I mean, it's a very original tone, very deft. I mean, he's rapier wit. And when he's making a point, it's just like a dart going into a board. It's like, oh my God, that was just stunningly done.
I've always been fascinated by the dynamics of women in power, what it is like behind these closed doors, and the challenges that these women have to surmount. So when I looked at sort of these extraordinary public figures, I wanted to take their story and inspire a stage version of that dynamic. They are characters in a play, but closely inspired, of course, by some pretty extraordinary women in real life.
I mean, it's a dicey issue. Of course, these are real people that the public knows about, and the audience will relate to the real people. We want to evoke an idea, also an idea of a person. We are trying to make them flesh, but the point is the ideas. The point is the concepts that two different generations, two different points of view have, and how they get along and how they are meant to in the government. It's really wonderful.